Cheers, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. What's she up to now? Day 760 days in a row. I've been talking about how I'm transitioning from the corporate world, the world of real brick and mortar businesses, to the online world. And I'm just documenting my journey every day. Why am I documenting my journey? Why do you care? Well, because I want you to learn the lessons I have and not make the mistakes I have. And that sort of leads to today's topic on my Supersize Your Business post. I was talking about the expression, name is mud. And I got to thinking, well, mud really is mistakes. When we get mud on our face, egg on our face, it's because we've made a mistake. We get embarrassed or we've done something wrong. Now, it might not be wrong in our estimation because usually we do the best we can with what we've got at the time. We humans, no matter what, we always make the decision that we honestly think is in our own best interest at the time. Now, that interest might not be positively motivated, but it's always motivated by our need to protect ourselves or to feel a certain way. But mud or mistakes or being in trouble, mud can represent trouble, and sometimes it can make us think that we're doomed or that we're possibly worthless, but it's not true. We all end up actually building our lives on a foundation of mud and all those mistakes, and if we use those mistakes as the foundation and the stepping stone to move forward and improve and move toward what we want in our lives and to be a better human being, then mud is a good thing, right? It's actually the base on which we build the life that we really want to create. So mud, we think mud's dirty and mucky and yucky, and I was a tomboy, so I loved getting dirty and muddy when I was a kid, much to my mother's dismay, and I think that's probably why she said, Sharon, your name is Mud, a lot, and that's why I would tell my kids when they were in trouble, hey, your name is Mud. And usually it was when I dragged a bunch of dirt and stuff into the house after she'd cleaned from playing outside, right? And literally my name was Mud because I would have a lot of mud around me. But I actually really like this expression, and I didn't realize that I remember when I read it, I was like, yeah, I definitely have used this on my kids. I've definitely heard it as a child, not so much as a grown-up. Nobody ever says, hey dude, your name is Mud. At least I haven't heard that in my adult life that I can recall. They'll usually just say you're in trouble, or they'll call you names that start with four-letter word names or something, or sometimes longer than that, but usually it's some derogatory statement when people are upset with you or not happy with your performance in any way, shape, or form. But I like the expression because it reminds me for the lesson in every situation, and realize that we're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes that we think are mistakes, but we're always judging them after the fact, right? When we do it, we don't know it's a mistake, and we don't necessarily even consider the consequences of our choices and our actions. But then we find out, oh my God, that was a stupid mistake. I just recently found out about a mistake I made a decade ago that I didn't even know I made, and so I found out about a mistake a decade ago. I made this mistake, and I'm like, all right, well, that was 10 years ago. I don't know how to fix that. I didn't even know it was a mistake till now. What do I do about that? And so I think that's why I'm liking this expression, because I feel like I'm in a little bit of trouble, but I'll figure out an answer. But I also know I didn't know at the time. I thought I was doing the right thing, and it only turned out that 10 years later I discovered that I had made a mistake. Well, how do I learn from that? Well, I learned that next time I don't necessarily trust that everything is awesome and okay, but how do you do that? How do you go back and think of a 10-year ago thing that you did wrong that you didn't know was wrong, and now all of a sudden it's wrong? It's kind of like when the laws change, right? Or when the rules and the regulations change in manufacturing. I'm in manufacturing a lot, and the way we do things and the guidelines and the rules like OSHA and FDA and USDA and all the government regulations, think taxes. What we can do some years is illegal to do other years, right? What we can do with respect to safety and food safety and things changes over time, and the regulations become more detailed and more strict. And what you might have been doing in your business, in your organization, or in your life was fine, and then as things change, times change, technology changes, what you're doing ends up being wrong. and you might or might not know about it, right? I hate the ones that I didn't know about, and then I'm like, okay, well, what's the lesson learned here? The lesson is you can't know what you don't know, right? Sometimes we beat ourselves up for thinking we should know things that we have no way of knowing. I had no way of knowing that the thing I did was a mistake, and if somebody would have told me and flagged it, I could have fixed it right back then. But since I was not, and everything went along smoothly as it normally should have, given the thing I did, I'm like, okay, well, what do I do now? Because now I have to get someone else to help me fix that, because things have changed and I didn't know it was a mistake in the first place. Anyway, this is a really convoluted way of discussing something. But if we make mistakes, as soon as we realize that we've made a mistake, we want to look for the lesson in that. What did I learn from that? Well, I learned that I should get expert advice in certain situations, whether I think I need it or not, right? Hello. I should get other people's opinions on things and decisions sometimes, whether I think I need it or not. And that's just a big lesson to learn. I should, there's all kinds of shoulds we should do, right, in our own estimation. But the biggest thing is know that we're going to all have challenges, and we're going to all make mistakes. We're going to all make the wrong decisions. We're all going to have failures. But if we use those failures as stepping stones to move toward what we want, to become the person, to build and create what it is that we want in our lives. I'm usually talking about businesses because I've worked with people that build businesses, me included. The only way we're going to get there is by taking action, doing things, and then realizing, okay, well, that result wasn't what I wanted, so I'm going to learn to not do that again. I ran an ad in the newspaper once that I thought was going to bring all these people to my manufacturing business, and all these, because I was doing a hiring thing. And I got lots of people, I got lots of applications, but out of hundreds and hundreds of applications, there were 2 people that were qualified. Well, because the mistake I made is I hadn't written the ad with enough detail and specifications so people really knew and understood what was required. So then I learned from that mistake, and the next time I ran an ad to hire people, I did a much better, more detailed job. So I filtered out the people that weren't qualified, and I only really got the people that we wanted and were qualified. That was a lesson I learned in corporate America and on my own. In corporate America, one time we had to hire 36 people for an entire department that I ran because we had immigration and verification challenges with several of our employees in that department. And we gave them months to verify their citizenship, but they didn't do it. And so on a certain date, INS and all the powers that be said, all of these people need to be let go, or we are going to come in and we're going to take them anyway, and there's going to be a big mess, which is, I can't believe I forgot about that until just now. That was something that was outside of my control, but it was in my control to hire that. Well, we put out ads to replace those people. We got 5,000 applications. We're like, how on earth are we ever going to go through 5,000 applications for 36 positions? And that was another example of learning that you have to be really clear and specific about what you need and who you want to attract and what you want in order to make your job a whole lot easier. So, I'm thinking about mud and name being mud today. Now, I could say, hey, my name is Mud, I'm in trouble, I'm worthless, I screwed up, I'm doomed to fail because of this mistake I made 10 years ago. Or I can say, wow, wish I would have known that, 9 years and 11 months ago when I could have done something about it and fixed it, but since I don't, now what am I going to do? What do I have to do to get this fixed? And all I did was I gave it to my attorney because he's the expert and he'll sort it out and fix it. Could I be upset and beat myself up about it? Yeah, I could, but what would be the point? Because I can't go back in time in my little time machine and change the mistake I made. I can't do it. It's not possible. So I could feel bad. And did I feel a little bad when I found out about it? Yeah, I felt a little bad because I'm like, well, I screwed that up, but I didn't know. So I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to say, yep, I did that. Now how do I fix it? And then I'm going to learn the lesson that I never do anything like that again without expert advice, right? So thinking a lot about mud and name being mud, and how can you take the situations and turn them into something positive? Because that's the only way we learn. The only way we learn is if we get the lesson out of the mistakes we make. I gave an example in my live video today about my health. I didn't pay attention to my health. It's a big mistake to not pay attention to your health. Did when I was young, super active, but in my child rearing years and my business growing years, I put my physical health and my well-being to the bottom of the list. I mean, I'm stressed out to the max, not eating right, not taking care of myself, living on coffee, like a couple of pots a day. Now I'm a couple cups a day, but I did everything wrong. I didn't eat right. I didn't sleep. I didn't take care of myself. Didn't drink water. I didn't move. I didn't get any exercise on purpose, ever. Ran around like a chicken with my head cut off running my businesses. That is not the same as time out, de-stressing, and moving your body, right? And I learned that lesson in ever-increasing warnings, but until I listened. But I didn't listen until I actually dropped dead. It was really interesting, too, as I looked back after my sudden cardiac arrest, I looked back on my life, and every few Labor Days I would have, and it would always happen right around Labor Day, either a couple of days before on Labor Day or a couple of days after, I would have these health challenges, and I mean, not little ones. They started out small, and they got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, up to and including my sudden cardiac arrest. And it was only after that, when I fortunately woke up and I'm still here, that I looked back and I started to see that pattern and realized, holy buckets, this has all been little warning bells that got stronger and stronger and stronger, screaming to me to pay attention to my health and to start taking at least a little bit of care of myself. But of course, I didn't do it. I would just take care of myself for the amount of time that it took to recover from the current situation I was having, and then I would go right back to the way I was living before. And I did that over and over and over again until I got that final wake-up call that said, yeah, your little red wagon's full. You either need to make massive lifestyle changes or you are going to be dead. And I looked at the statistics for people that have heart events, and it was very grim and very dismal if you didn't make massive lifestyle changes. And I read that sentence somewhere, and I latched onto that with a vengeance, and I made lifestyle changes, massive, much to many of the people in my life's dismay, right? Massive lifestyle changes involved other people, and the way I prioritized what I needed to do to survive and live over, running certain types of businesses, relationships, and ruffled a lot of feathers that I was going to take care of myself. Now, people that love and care about me always said, hey, why are you not taking care of yourself? But I was doing what I thought I should do. How many of us get into the should trap where you're in a job, you hate it, and they're done that. Didn't hate it, but I knew it didn't feel right, didn't fit for me. And you stay, and you stay, and you stay, and you stay, because you feel you have to. I have to make the mortgage payment. I have to make the car payment. I've got to put food on the table for the kids and me. I've got to do whatever. And we get ourselves trapped into believing that we don't have any options, when the truth is our options and the opportunities for each of us are actually unlimited, and they're only limited by what we will allow ourselves to see and by our imagination. So what else is going on? Challenges. Always working on challenges. I'm working on my own live challenge workshop, which will be March 23rd. Starts March 23rd. It'll be actually a 10-day period, but it's a 5-day challenge. A 5-day challenge, 4-day bonuses. I am following some formats that I've learned from other people that I really, really like, and kind of altering the way I actually deliver my challenges. I lost track. I was looking at my Reddit account yesterday to correct, I had forgot that I didn't know you had to moderate, and so I have 4 groups on Reddit, and I wasn't moderating any of them, so they all got frozen just under 2 weeks ago, but I was busy not paying attention, because I don't really go into Reddit very often. So last night I had to do some massive moderating on my big screen TV through my Reddit accounts, and I realized I have challenges in there that I didn't even remember doing. So I've definitely been doing lots of challenges for a long, long time. And so the live challenge workshop will teach other people how to use challenges to get the results that you want faster than you can actually even imagine possible. You can get results in days that take other people literally years to achieve in challenges, if you set your challenges up and you use them to motivate and move you and drive you to action. And I teach people exactly how to do that. I've done it a couple of times before, but now I'm just kind of tweaking and cleaning up how I deliver that message. I'm also doing Michelle Burrog's challenge, Content Crushers Challenge, because I love what she's doing with it. She's actually gamifying it and added a spy theme to it, which is really fun. One Funnel Away Challenge, week 2, day 4 today. just kind of following along with that, not literally doing that whole challenge. That's a big challenge. I've done it 4 times before, so I don't feel the need to dive in and do all the activities again. I'm just tweaking and helping a few other people with things on that. Day 6, I believe, of my Fast 16, where I'm just trying with myself as my own science experiment, the 16 hours of fasting versus an 8-hour window of eating every day. I haven't even done it for a week yet, so I can't even decide if I like it or not, if it works for me. It works for me pretty well because it just reminds me, hey, after 8 o'clock at night, do you really need those caramels? Do you really need that, whatever it is that I might want to grab? And what I've learned the most so far about myself is when I get tired or bored or frustrated, the first place I head is the refrigerator or the pantry, which is ridiculous. And so it's a matter of just breaking myself of that not so great habit, right? Because if I don't take care of myself, my ICD will go off and I will be not a happy camper. So challenges, what other challenges have I got going on? I'm finished up like 2 or 3 from last week. There's a few more going on that I'm just observing and watching, but I'm not doing them. I'm kind of running out of time to do other people's challenges. I love doing them. They're fun. I like to see what other people are doing, but it's more fun to do my own and to create my own for people than it is to do other people's. And I think that people that join the live challenge workshop will find that too. Once you start doing your own challenges and setting them up for the people that you want to be interacting with and serving to create and get the goals and the results that you want, you don't really need to go do other people's anymore. You're like, okay, I see why you're doing that. That's great. And you might observe and watch and learn some lessons from other people doing them, but you don't need to be doing all of them. It's kind of like when you go from offline to online, which is a big lesson I learned. You get it online and you take a course or a training, and then you think you have to take another one and another one and another one and another one. You think you have to follow everybody on social media, and then you start comparing yourself to others and getting frustrated, and you realize, I need to stop doing this. I need to stop, number one, looking at other people's stuff and feeds, comparing myself to that, because whatever you come up with, whatever idea, whatever your genius zone is, I guarantee as soon as you commit to, I'm going to do this, all of a sudden you will notice everyone else on the planet that's doing it, and you'll think, well, why should I do this? How do I measure up? Who am I to lead this course on stress? Who am I to create this product of how to grow and build and supersize your business? Who am I to do whatever? And you always find people that are way more successful than you, but you know what? You're not seeing their entire journey along the way. So comparing yourself to them is ridiculous and fruitless, because we have no idea. We only see the tip of the iceberg on any other human being, right? Even when you're married to them, your significant other, you don't know them. You don't know how they think and feel inside. We just know the tip of the iceberg of any other human being, and we do the best we can. So don't ever compare yourself to others. And I'm reminding myself that as much as anybody else, because it's easy to look and say, oh my God, look at all these other people that are doing challenges. There's thousands of people doing challenges. Why would I do a challenge? Well, if I would have said that, I never would have done one, and I never would have gotten the results, mostly for myself, that I wanted and desired along the way, but certainly wouldn't have gotten results for any other people as well. So challenges, still my jam, still my thing, working on all of those, working on really formalizing and getting my workbook and my worksheets really, really nice for people. And my biggest challenge with all of that is actually simplifying it all and cutting out a lot of stuff, because I tend to throw in way too much stuff. Now, I'm that kid in high school before the internet that we'd have a paper to do where you're supposed to have 3 sources, and I would have at least a dozen when I wrote a paper. It's, I don't know where that comes from, that, it's like, why? I'm laughing as I look around because I'm thinking of all the things that I got rid of, yet I still have a plethora of stuff that surrounds me. I think clothes and things. Shoes are not my thing. They are my family. My mom and my sisters love shoes, but I couldn't care about shoes at all. And so, but I do have lots of clothes. I probably have more bathrobes and pajamas, pajama grandma, than probably almost anyone on the planet, except for somebody that actually makes and sells pajamas or a pajama store. I probably have more, and you're like, well, why? Why? Because it represents the lifestyle that I want to live. I want to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with whomever I want, wearing whatever I want. So if I want to have little penguin pajamas on, I don't have to feel like other people think I should have a 3-piece suit on. I did my 3-piece suit days. I'm not going to do that anymore. maybe if I do a speech, but you know what? If I decide I want to be a speaker, I will probably show up in my bathrobe. Just saying, got to be yourself. So that's all I've got today. I am working on fixing the problem that I screwed up 10 years ago, and moving forward with the Live Thrive Challenge. My amazing granddaughter had her first airplane flight yesterday, and she flew to Las Vegas and is going to California with her parents to Joshua Tree. I've never been there, which I actually kind of want to go there now because all my kids have been there and they say it's absolutely amazing. And there's state parks, and not state parks, national parks I have not seen in this country that I would like to see before I am 100% blind. Legally blind, but before I can't really see color or shapes or anything in my good eye, I would like to actually experience that. So we'll see. Maybe I can make a trip out to Joshua Tree later this year. Anyway, if I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Bye. Have an awesome day.